Welcome to this brief presentation on metadata management with QlikView Expressor. My name is Michael Turallo. I am with the Global Product Marketing team at QlikTech. In this presentation, I will focus on metadata with respect to QlikView and QlikView Expressor and define its meaning. I will further present the two types of metadata that are used within a QlikView Expressor-based solution, as well as cover topics on how it is used to apply data governance and metadata management practices to a QlikView deployment. The term metadata is ambiguous and has an evolving definition. It can and always will be defined differently by those who work with it. But when used in the context of QlikView applications or business discovery, metadata can be defined simply as data about data. Within a QlikView ecosystem, there are two types of data that can be described. Data that is used to make business decisions, such as operational data, we'll call that one source data, or it can be data about the structural elements that make up a QlikView deployment. We'll call that QlikView deployment or environment data. Its overall purpose is to increase the value of data by providing additional context. When managed effectively, it can be created once, centralized, and reused in a self-service manner across multiple applications. It also can be used to answer questions that pertain to data lineage and impact analysis about the data or applications it's describing. In turn, it ensures consistency and understanding of data across the entire deployment for both IT and QlikView users. When applied correctly, it can help with the overall effectiveness and efficiency of a QlikView deployment. Whether it describes data used to make business decisions or data about a QlikView deployment, metadata helps bridge the gap between the way users work with data and how computer applications process it. Let's take a look at a brief example. Metadata is found in everyday computer use without even thinking about it. A simple example that most computer-savvy people will be able to recognize are the properties of a file object found in most operating systems. Not only does it describe what the file contains, it also answers questions such as when, where, what, how, and who about the file itself, and not so much about what is in the file, the data. Simply put, the file properties report information about the file through the use of its metadata. Now that we have identified metadata in a more general sense, let's cover the two types of metadata that can be created or extracted from a QlikView deployment. First, we will cover QlikView-specific deployment or environmental metadata. This metadata consists of most of the structural elements that make up a QlikView application and its associated deployment. For example, the directory path, file types, and file names of the QlikView data or application files. The author, tables, fields, labels, and expressions used in those applications. The application's sheet object types, the load script, and data sources it is using, as well as publisher, server, and other session-related information associated with those applications. Let's drill in a bit further with this sample QlikView application. Note that it contains a number of sheets with a variety of sheet objects, such as filters, table boxes, and charts. The QlikView document consists of valuable metadata that can be used to gain additional insight into my deployment. If I was to view the underlying properties of the total sales bar chart, I can see the label being used for the column total sales, which uses an expression, sum sales amount, to define this metric. If I review the table box properties and select the label margin, I can see the underlying calculation that makes up that percentage. Defined expressions and documents such as this can become redundant and scattered throughout large QlikView deployments. As QlikView expands its footprint throughout an organization, it becomes increasingly important to monitor and track this metadata to understand how QlikView is being used and whether it is being used effectively. The second type of metadata that can be defined in a QlikView deployment is created on top of the actual data that is used to make business decisions. This is your traditional operational or source data available from data warehouses, database tables, structured and unstructured files, host applications, and other sources. This sort of metadata is typically created to shield the user from the complexities of the underlying sources, such as its origin, referential integrity, cryptic field names, complex calculations, business rules, data types, and much more. When stored in a centralized metadata repository, it provides a reusable and consistent approach for development and analysis of business discovery applications, in turn reducing development time and improving overall data confidence amongst business users. Next, we will cover data governance and metadata management and how they relate to QlikView Expressor-based solutions. Data governance, like the term metadata, has an emerging definition. Simply defined, it involves the proper handling of data and applications in an organization. It ensures that important information assets are formally managed throughout the enterprise and can be trusted to provide effective decisions. Some of the goals of applying data governance practices include increasing consistency, reducing redundancy, improving regulatory compliance, improving security, introducing best practices and repeatable processes, encouraging reuse, conforming column definitions across all applications, and improving overall data confidence and accuracy. The explosive growth of QlikView within enterprises has introduced a greater need for data governance. Organizations have asked for broader insight into their QlikView environments to identify consistency, repeatability, and efficiency in order to retain the flexibility and time to value they have enjoyed with QlikView. With the QlikView Governance Dashboard, QlikView customers will have a better understanding of their applications and data used by QlikView. It can help with identification of inconsistencies in the environment so they can better prepare best practices, improve compliance, and consolidate and reuse commonly used elements to remove redundancy, overall making the QlikView deployment more manageable and efficient. Please refer to the QlikView Governance Dashboard companion videos for detailed presentations and demonstrations. Our final focus is on metadata management with QlikView Expressor. Like the previous topics already discussed, the term can have multiple meanings. Technically, the QlikView Governance Dashboard you've just seen provides a form of metadata management, as it is responsible for managing all of the QlikView deployment metadata. However, with respect to business intelligence applications, metadata management typically focuses on creating, storing, enhancing, and maintaining attributes and defined properties of organizational data, or, as I referred to it earlier, source data, data used to make decisions. The goal of creating metadata on top of source data is to create a centralized and consistent view of data elements that can be used for development and analysis across all applications in the enterprise. This is usually referred to as a metadata repository. Metadata repositories shield business users from the complexities of the underlying data sources while providing IT professionals with the valuable information on data and applications that use that metadata. For example, using the QlikView Governance Dashboard and its metadata repository, IT is able to mitigate QlikView application downtime by reviewing data lineage and impact analysis information prior to making any changes to those applications. Now, let's cover some metadata artifacts, attributes, and properties that are defined on data provision for QlikView applications when using QlikView Expressor. I like to call these analytical model components, such as data source inputs, input schemas defined on input data that describe its layout and may contain column names that use user-friendly business terms, data types that accurately represent numerical, date, text, and binary data, validation rules to constrain, validate, or correct data, data relationships on how data is joined or merged, transformation rules to enrich, filter, and/or calculate new data, and finally, an output schema that defines the resulting columns to be used in QlikView. Once assembled, the end result is a conformed table model that can be used with QlikView Desktop to create QlikView applications. The benefits of using QlikView Expressor to provision data for QlikView become more relevant in larger QlikView deployments where there is a need for rapid collaborative development while maintaining consistency, best practices, and standardization across all applications. Some of these benefits include a visual representation of the flow of data from source to QlikView, a reduction in QlikView scripting, a reusable library of model components and templates that can be shared and stored in a version-controlled repository, common business rules and column definitions that can be applied across all QlikView applications in the enterprise, and much more. Please refer to the QlikView Expressor companion videos and technical brief available on the QlikView website for more information on this topic. Thank you for watching this presentation on metadata management with QlikView Expressor. Over the years, QlikView deployments have seen unparalleled success within our customers' environments. With this rapid success came some challenges, particularly for IT professionals who are tasked with administering a growing QlikView estate. With the QlikView Governance Dashboard and QlikView Expressor products, data governance practices and metadata management the QlikView way can be applied to address those challenges, while maintaining the continued speed and flexibility that are essential to any QlikView deployment.